Actress Jennifer Lawrence said in a recent interview with Barbara Walters, "I think it should be illegal to call somebody fat on TV." I mean, if we're regulating cigarettes and sex and cuss words because of the effect it has on our younger generation, why aren't we regulating things like calling people fat? I think this brings up a few interesting questions. Number one, is it the place of the government, even with the popular support of the people, to control art and media? Number two, is there, to any extent, an obligation for artists and or entertainers to bolster or protect the self-esteem and emotional well-being of the viewers? Number three, is it more important to protect people's feelings or the right of artists and entertainers to freedom of expression? Number four, is Jennifer Lawrence insane or just inane? Let's go through these questions I just raised, one by one. Number one, is it the place of the government, even with the popular support of the people, to control art and media? My answer is no. In America, anyway, the First Amendment is supposed to guarantee freedom of speech. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The FCC's decency regulations are, in my opinion, unconstitutional. Legendary comedian George Carlin shared my opinion, and that's relevant. Why? Because in 1973, New York City FM radio station WBAI broadcast George Carlin's famous filthy words routine. They played this on terrestrial FM radio in the 1970s.
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. That's all I have. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Unfortunately, a concerned parent complained and the station was reprimanded by the FCC. This eventually led to a 1978 Supreme Court case where it was ruled that the actions of the FCC were warranted and the FCC's right to police the decency of content was ensured. The problem is that a lot of really excellent, challenging material has been kept from general audiences and censored under the pretext of protecting people from indecency. George Carlin's filthy words routine, for instance, was not just obscenity for obscenity's sake. He was asking questions about our language and our values and really pointing out how silly it is to label certain words bad. It's a tragic stupidity that such a brilliant takedown of the concept of censorship promulgated a new era of American censorship. Number two, is there, to any extent, an obligation for artists and or entertainers to bolster or protect the self-esteem and emotional well-being of the viewers? I think that this very much depends on the artist or entertainer. If you go see a romantic comedy, you probably want to leave the theater feeling uplifted. If you listen to death metal, you're probably not looking for a positive message. Now, when Jennifer Lawrence says that we should stop fat jokes and fat shaming from airing on TV, I think her heart is in the right place. Unfortunately, her brain is in the wrong place. Look, I'm a fat guy. And yes, I've been called fat. And yes, being made fun of for my weight did, at one time, hurt my feelings. And yes, I've seen portrayals of fat people in the media that I thought were unfair. You know what, though? Everyone gets shit on eventually. The pretty popular people, there's tons of shit out there mocking them. Asians, Jews, black people, tough guys, nerds, frat boys, come on. We've all seen stereotypes of these sorts of people play out on TV or in movies or video games. We all have our crosses to bear. The thing is, fat jokes on TV don't create anti-fat sentiment. They just exploit it. And maybe Jennifer Lawrence thinks our culture could benefit from a more enlightened view of overweight people, and I don't necessarily disagree with her. What I do profoundly disagree with is using censorship as the tool to bring about that change. Don't change laws. Work to change minds. Number 3. Is it more important to protect people's feelings or the right of artists and entertainers to freedom of expression? A lot of fat jokes you see on TV are less the product of creative people than they are the product of uncreative suits armed with market research that says fat jokes are funny. But many of the fat jokes do come from the artists or entertainers themselves, and it's the artist or entertainer's job to hold up a mirror to society and show us a view of ourselves. Usually, this is a funhouse mirror. It's meant to distort us a little, exaggerate certain features, and sometimes these exaggerations can be hurtful, but they can also be very valuable. The character Archie Bunker was a racist, sexist bigot who starred in the TV sitcom All in the Family, which ran from 1971 to 1979. I think that in a lot of ways, that character and his traits redefined how a lot of people viewed white, working-class American men. For better or worse, that depends on your point of view. But that TV show was part of a cultural discussion. A more contemporary example would be South Park, which makes constant fat jokes, by the way. Think of the huge role South Park has played in several big political and social debates over the last decade and a half. I think that by making topics taboo for artists and entertainers, all you're really doing is limiting cultural discussion of certain issues. So the ironic thing about Jennifer Lawrence's statement is that banning fat jokes or banning calling people fat from TV, that might just halt potential discussion on that subject, which may actually make the problem worse. Which brings us to question number 4. Is Jennifer Lawrence insane or just inane? She's probably neither, but the quickness with which she embraces censorship as a solution is pretty disturbing, especially considering that she's most famous for portraying a character that opposes an authoritarian government. And also, she's really fucking fat. Ugh.